Good day, everyone, especially to you, Dr. Jeah. My name is Jeah Rojo, and today we're going to talk about the chapter 15, which is the Tourism and Hospitality Management Education. So, before anything else, I'm going to provide to you first a topic outline and objectives for this topic. First is the introduction to THM education. Next is the legal and regulatory frameworks, which will tackle the role of CHAD and role of TESDA. Next is the curriculum requirements, which will tackle CHAD memorandum orders and ladderized education system. Next is the facilities and resources required, which tackles the school laboratories and infrastructures. Next is the student practicum and training, which tackles the local and international practicum training programs, or IPTP. Next is the accreditation and the regulation, which will tackle the CHED recognized accrediting agencies and the levels of accreditation. Also, next is the legal considerations in tourism and hospitality management education, which will tackle tuition fee regulations, sexual harassment laws, drug testing policies, ETEEAP, or the Tertiary Education Equivalency and Accreditation Program, and regulations for foreign students, and lastly, a case study which will tackle the legal opinion for tuition increase. So for objectives, by the end of the chapter, we are expected to understand the legal foundations of tourism and hospitality education in the Philippines, to identify the roles and functions of CHAD and TESDA in regulating THM programs, to describe the curricular and laboratory requirements for degree programs, to recognize the importance and structure of local and international practicum, to explain the accreditation process and its implications for educational institutions, and lastly is to apply relevant laws affecting tuition regulation, student rights, and institutional compliance. So, the Philippines is a key player in the global tourism industry with the high demand of Filipino tourism workers. To maintain and increase this demand, it is crucial to strengthen competency in tourism and hospitality management education. So, in this chapter, we will discuss the laws, rules, and regulations governing tourism and hospitality management education in the Philippines. So, for the key legal and regulatory frameworks, first is we do have the Commission in Higher Education, or also known as CHAD. CHAD governs degree programs in tourism and hospitality management and also sets minimum curricular requirements for Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management or Tourism. It also oversees the grant of government permits and recognition to schools offering these programs. Next is we do have the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or also known as TESDA. It governs non-degree or certificate programs like the national certificates. So, for the curriculum also, the curriculum for Bachelor of Science in Tourism and Bachelor of Science in Hotel and Restaurant Management programs must comply with CHAD Memorandum Order Number 31 Series of 2001. CHAD encourages a ladderized interface between TVET and higher education. So for school laboratories and CHED requirements, schools offering BSHRM or hospitality management need to have specific laboratories like kitchen, mock-up guest room, front office, restaurant or bar, and computer lab. CHED also sets requirements for administrators, faculty, library resources, and floor area. So for student practicum or apprenticeship, BS Tourism and BS Hotel and Restaurant Management programs require a minimum of 3 units of practicum. So CHED Memorandum Order 15 Series of 2002 provides guidelines for the International Practicum Training Program, or IPTP. So the IPTP aims to provide students with cross-cultural training and skills enhancement in international settings. So this involves higher education institutions, training partners, and third-party training partners, each with specific qualifications and responsibilities. So, for accreditation and the regulation of schools, the CHED encourages higher education institutions to attain standards of quality through voluntary non-governmental accreditation systems. So, for the accreditation and the regulation of tourism and hospitality schools in the Philippines. So, for that, the policies and procedures related to the accreditation and the regulation of higher education institutions, or HEIs, offering tourism and hospitality management programs in the Philippines as outlined by the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED. So for accreditation, it ensures quality standards within the institution. So for CHED's role, CHED encourages HEIs to pursue voluntary accreditation to achieve and maintain high standards of quality and excellence in their academic programs. This is in line with the provisions of Republic Act 7722 or the Higher Education Act of 1994. So the benefits of accreditation is that accreditation signifies that an institution has met or exceeded established standards, leading to enhanced credibility and recognition. So for accrediting agencies, there are several non-governmental accrediting agencies that are officially recognized by CHED to conduct accreditation processes in the Philippines. This include the Philippine Accrediting Association of Schools, Colleges and Universities or PAASCU, the Philippine Association of Colleges and Universities Commission on Accreditation or the PACUCOA, the Association of Christian Schools and Colleges Accrediting Agency Incorporated or the ACSC AAI, and the Accrediting Agency of Chartered Colleges and Universities in the Philippines or the AACUP, and lastly, the Association of Local Colleges and Universities Commission on Accreditation or the ALCOCOA. So for levels of accreditation, institutions achieving accredited status are typically granted specific levels, for example, like level 3, which signify increasing levels of quality and may come with certain privileges. And also, accredited status can lead to the regulation and autonomy for schools. Various accrediting agencies are recognized in the Philippines. So, there are also other important legal considerations such as the tuition fees and the education of THM. So for tuition fees, it increases in tuition and other fees are regulated and should be reasonable. So for this one, we're going to provide to you like a case example for the law for the regulations for tuition fees. So, any increase in tuition or other fees in all levels to be made up by private higher education institutions or HEIs shall be subject to consultation with stakeholders and approval of the Commission in Higher Education. So, it will be a long process before it will be implemented. So, this is the background case. So, the La Salle University, which is a college of St. Benilde, is intending to increase the tuition in the BS Tourism and BS Hotel and Restaurant Management programs by 18% effective academic year 2008 to 2009. The national inflation rate in 2007 was 8% only. So, the question is it justified for the school to proceed with the proposed tuition increase? So, for legal opinion, the answer would be no. The LSU-CSB cannot increase its tuition by 18% for academic year 2008 to 2009. However, it can only increase its tuition equal or less than the national inflation rate of the preceding year, which is 8% only, because the increase for the tuition must match with the inflation rate also of the country. So next is sexual harassment. So the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995, under the Republic Act of 7877, defines and addresses sexual harassment in the education and training environment. Also, for random drug testing, which there's a random drug testing for tertiary level students that is implemented under Republic Act of 9165. Also, we do have the Tertiary Education Equivalency and Accreditation Program, or ETEAP, which this program allows individuals with significant industry experience to earn a bachelor's degree. And lastly, the foreign students. CHED has memoranda governing the entry and stay of foreign students in the Philippines. So, for that, tourism and hospitality management education in the Philippines is rigorously governed to ensure that institutions produce globally competitive graduates. By adhering to CHED and TESDA standards, ensuring proper facilities, and integrating practical training, schools can foster high-quality education. So, legal frameworks also ensure fairness, protect student rights, and encourage continuous improvement through accreditations. So, a strong foundation in tourism and hospitality management education is essential to meet the growing demand for skilled Filipino workers in the global tourism sector. So, I think that would be all for this topic. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have learned something. Have a great day.